Good evening, Hector. Thank you for inviting all your friends and relations around for the evening here to wish you happy birthday. We will do that in just a minute after I've said a brief word about this man. With apologies from the Chief Minister, there's something called Tynwald is keeping him. Otherwise he would have been here and joined me in actually talking about you tonight. So on behalf of the whole of the Isle of Man, for what is probably the first time out of about 5 this week, 5 parties this week, happy birthday to an exceptional man, exceptional Manxman, who has done everything really. I think, from what I've been told, you were a bit of a model. Where did you start? What did you start off? On the railways? Yeah. Model railway man. Model sometime agricultural worker. I have various stories about him deserting his railway post, hopping over the hedge to do a bit of weeding by the yard, and going back before the next train came along. Model soldier, which we think of most of all. A model policeman. And I know you upheld the law at I have it from highest authority, the captain of the parish of Braddon, just now, Philip Cayley, that when he was 14 and completely illegally driving a tractor with his father on the back of it or something along a road, along comes Police Constable Duff, who engages in prolonged conversation with the two of them and then says, "Have a very good day, off you go." But it's as a soldier that people remember your stories, and particularly, most recently, when you have been, what I think these days we call outreach, don't we? Going out and talking in all the schools about your time. And what has struck me, even in the 3 years that Diana and I have been here, is the way you talk from the heart as a soldier who saw very active service in North Africa and in Normandy, talk about the ills of war, the importance of peace, and you do it to the young people of the Isle of Man with the experience of having been there in the thick of the worst of it yourself. And that is a very striking thing. Now I don't think you know this, I'm going to give you one of the first of the certificates which is being awarded in the British Isles to particularly strongly accredited, strongly experienced veterans, and veterans who've gone on doing things well after they were serving as soldiers. I have it behind me, I'm going to give it to you in a moment. But with many thanks to Sir Lawrence New, I wanted to read a little piece of the write-up you had after a piece of dramatic military action in North Africa, for which you were awarded the military medal, and awarded the military medal, one of the highest gallantry medals, immediately, which doesn't happen often, when it's awarded immediately. And this was because the brigade commander said it was so striking what you've done. His recommendation was the award should not wait for some committee in the War Office back in London, but should be given immediately to you. And what you did on that time, according to the write-up, and this is quite a remarkable man who did the write-up, he was Brigadier Hind, commonly known as Looney Hind, because he was completely fearless. So what he said, as an absolutely fearless, brave, always led from the front. Brigadier, this was part of the Desert Rats Division, I think, wasn't it, Lawrence, in North Africa, has double merit because he knew bravery when he saw it, because he exemplified it himself. And this is when you were a scout car driver for the brigade commander, Looney Hind, and his write-up said, on May the 8th, and we're talking about a 23-year-old acting Corporal Duff in 1943. On May the 8th, 1943, under heavy shell fire, Corporal Duff, in full view of the enemy, set up the rangefinder, this was on the scout car, took his Braden gun and engaged the enemy at close range. He showed great calmness and initiative, and he was under fire more than any other scout car driver in the brigade. And as I say, that was the action by fearless 23-year-old acting Corporal Duff, which led to his military medal immediately. So what we're going to do, I don't know whether you want to say anything, Hector. You needn't. You can. And then we'll have a toast, and then we'll have a happy birthday. You can stand on here, but I wouldn't advise it.
Thank you very, very much.
Sorry, yeah, I've just been reminded. That what we have to do now to get this for the cameras, this is a newly created commendation for exceptional veteran service, authorised by the Queen, and you were one of the first recipients in the British Isles.
Thank you. What can I say? How can anybody not be happy when we see all these friends in front of us, and you and your wife, a wonderful gesture in giving this house, having it available for us to talk to you today. I've got a wonderful family, and I call the schools, who are well represented here tonight, I call the schools part of my family too. I'm quite happy when I'm with them. Sometimes I have to sit down, but I can still stand up quite a bit. But thank you all for coming. I have heard there are a large number of people been sending me wishes on the Facebook. I don't know how many, but I think there's a lot. And I've got nearly 200 birthday cards at home. So somebody must know me anyway. Thank you very, very much for coming. And I'll try and have a few words with some of you. It may be a bit difficult, but don't forget the schools and their teachers, who have been an inspiration to me for years. Thank you, and thank you for this commendation.
Very good. Well, happy birthday, Hector.